Subtitle. Does that sound alright? Can't really tell from where I'm at, but I did some tests and I think it was all good. Good stuff. Yeah, hi. So I'm doing a live stream. I'm going to basically start a video game metal cover from scratch. So yeah, I just thought it might be quite cool. You can kind of see my process and like what I do and the stuff I use. I think I'm going to try and do the Deku Palace theme from Majora's Mask. Turn the volume down. I did this in a metal cover I did ages ago, like a medley, but I think this could do with like a standalone kind of thing. And I'm going to need to listen to it, and it's probably going to get me I don't know whether it'll get me a copyright strike on YouTube, but probably. So yeah, Deku Palace. I can almost hear the ad revenue going towards Nintendo right now. Yeah, so I think that should work quite well. Okay. Yeah, and then it kind of goes around again. So yeah, I think that's the plan. Yeah, so I guess I'll run through like basically kind of what I'm doing. I'm not going to like go into massive detail. Yeah, no drums from hell. Drums from hell is dead. Those days are over. You'll be happy to know. Yeah, so okay, drums, good place to start. I'm using Stephen Slate drums. Oh crap, hang on a second. Yeah, so all the drums are programmed. I don't have an acoustic kit. I can't play drums acoustically as well as I can program them. You know, it's just like, it's so much easier. I like the way it sounds, and it just works. It's quick as well, so it means I can do a cover a week just by playing in some drums on a keyboard. So like that kind of thing. I'll find my mixer and show you roughly what's going on if anyone's interested. So yeah, it's all kind of broken up into different things. I've got some parallel compression going on, a bit of reverb. The whole mix is running through here, and there's some stuff going on with EQs and stuff there. And then yeah, that's kind of it. It took a long while to get like the right sound, and I got it, and I'm kind of happy with it. So yeah, that's kind of that. So then guitars, I'm using Bias, which is positive grid, and that's kind of, yeah, I love it. It's, again, I used the Line 6 thing for so long, and I just got totally bored with that sound, because it's just, I don't know. Line 6 was great when you know, I didn't have much money. I didn't really know much about good guitar tone. And then the same sort of thing going on with the lead channel. So I typically use 3 lead channels just because I don't tend to use more than that. Sometimes if I do, fine, I'll chuck another one in, but same kind of thing, but a little bit more kind of reverb and delay. And then bass is I think it's a Waves plugin I've got for bass. Chris Lord Algie, I think, something like that. Yeah, and you'll hear that when I plug the bass in. That sounds pretty fat, and that's basically it. That's my setup. I've got it saved every time I open up a new project, which is awesome because you don't have to sort of faff about and start from scratch every time. So yeah, if I ever kind of get an idea, I can literally jump in and just get drums down real quick and then guitar and stuff. And that's what I'm going to try and do now. So yeah, I'm going to give that track another quick listen and just sort of think about the riffs and stuff for a bit. Yeah, so I think what I kind of do with this sort of thing is like I have a rough idea of what I want to do with it, and then I tend to go and just get a basic drum track down because guitars are the thing I want to focus on, and I think playing guitar alongside a drum kit is just a bit more musical than playing alongside a click. It's kind of bad because I don't practice playing along with the click, so whenever I do, it's I tend to go out of time, not play very well. But yeah, so what I'll try and do is I guess I think my overall thing with this, what I want to do is stick with the melody and keep it kind of straightforward in the sense of I just want to play that. What am I doing? That kind of thing, and stick some harmonies in there and maybe stick a lower part in there. That's kind of something I do quite a lot. So if I've got one part going on up here, actually stick to the lead channel, why not? And then I basically would maybe tend to do the same thing, but just an octave lower, so you end up with a. You'll also notice I'm going to make a lot of mistakes and mess up and, rage, stop recording and press undo and then start again. So apologies in advance. It could be a frustrating watch, but hopefully it won't be too bad. So, yeah. And then, so I'm going to try and stick a melody in. And then underneath, I guess just stick some fat kind of like riffs because there's not really much going on. Like in the lower part, it's just like a strummy sort of guitar. That's not the right bit. Yeah, so I mean, it's like, in terms of what's actually going on there, it's this sort of, which doesn't really work kind of, with, I don't want anything kind of like fuzzy and airy up there. I want something kind of like a Metallica sort of riff underneath. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do. But yeah, I'm going to put like a basic drum groove down first, just so I know what I'm playing to. And maybe try and chuck an intro in as well, because there's that kind of that drummy intro, doom dum 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 dum, or something like that. Let's get it right, shall we? ba bum 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 bum. I'll do for now, I think, and then I'm going to go into a beat after that. So this is going to be sloppy. This is probably going to be a bit out of time. It's going to need quantizing, but I'll do that when I've done recording it. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Oh, I need to get the tempo right as well. This is quite a handy little thing at the bottom here. If I click in time. 116. Does that sound right? Hang on a second. Okay. I just realised you probably can't hear a metronome click there. It doesn't look like you can. But it's basically doing this sort of speed. Yeah. That's close enough. That's fine. Yeah. So let's put some drums down. Right, that was really shit. Hang on a sec. This mic cable is not doing me any favors. Okay. Well, that was not great. I mean, the intro's there. I can do that again and not cock it up so badly, so I'm going to do it again. Cool. So that is a drum beat. That is not, final. That's not going to stay like that. That's going to get tidied up and changed, and when I figure out what's going on with the guitars and stuff. So yeah, I am going to basically. Sorry, I just realised you can't see what I'm seeing. Right. So this is what I just recorded, and as you can see, it's not in time. There are things going all over the place, and okay, it's going to get annoying very quickly. I tend to, I don't know, my crappy playing, or maybe it's something to do with the drivers or whatever, but I tend to sort of, whenever I play and record, I always notice that things end up just a little bit before the actual bit that I'm going to hit. So you see this is coming in like here instead of right there and that. So what I tend to do is the very first thing is just drag everything along a little bit. And it's roughly a little bit closer sort of in time. So what that means is that when I quantize it, it'll be a bit, I've got a better chance of everything being in time. So all I'm going to do is highlight everything, quantize it to, so that's your straight 16th note. So that's going to be close enough. There's going to be a few bits where it's going to sort of overlap, like those quick double bass fills that I've done, but it's easily fixed. So now as a quick, just check that it's not all horrendous. This is all very placeholder as well. This is just something I can record along to. So it doesn't matter if it's a bit scrappy, as long as it's in time. That's the important thing. I'm going to fix that just because that sounds a little bit lame. So this is trial and error, and doing this millions and millions of times, you just know that's not what you want to do. You know exactly where you want things to go. So this is something I use absolutely loads. I'm going to get a nice flam with the snare there. So, one lands on the beat, one lands just after. You end up with that nice, sounds like two sticks hitting a snare drum. Cover of Great Fairy's Fountain. Yeah, that could be good. That would be Yeah, that could work actually. I think it'll be lots of arpeggios and stuff, which I guess that would require me not playing like sloppy like I usually do. But yeah, that could work. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Cool. So that is exactly what I want, and that's another thing. It's good to fix that early because that's going to throw you into that riff, and I think it's nice to have something kind of big and chunky just before you play. It's like, it's kind of like the drums make you play better. If the drums sound good, then your guitars are going to want to sound better. So yeah, let's just play from here and see if it's all roughly in time. Yeah, close enough. I'm just going to fix that while I'm here. Exact same fill as last time, but they've got a tom down here now. So I'm going to move the snare after. Again, that blah with toms and snares sounds quite nice as well. So that should sound kind of cool. So yeah, with that blump. Whenever I'm doing a snare and a snare flam, it doesn't matter which of those two snares moves along a little bit. But in this case, I don't know why, for some reason, having the tom land exactly on this line here and moving the snare along just sounds a little bit better than, I don't know, if you do shit, what I'm doing. Like if you do that. Oh, it's not too bad. It's kind of exactly the same thing. I don't know, maybe I'm just being picky, but yeah. I'm gonna stick another snare drum kick drum in there just so if I want to loop it, that's gonna kind of work quite well. Right, cool. So what I've basically got now is a drum beat which I can basically just loop over and over and over again. So I've got my intro. I'm going to move the drums. I'm just going to, really the proper way to do this would be to somewhere around here you can, yeah. And I just drag that out and drag it out and drag it out and drag it out and drag it out. And that takes me to, I don't know, what time is this? 4 minutes. I don't picture this track being more than 4 minutes long. So I'm going to keep that as it is. And I basically hang on a second. No, okay, I cocked that up. I don't want the intro to come back in. So I'm just gonna manually shove these over. I'm probably gonna end up deleting all of these real soon, but it just means that if I want to just play some riffs and just keep it recording for ages and just keep it going and figure something out, I've got 8 minutes or so of drums to play with. Cool, and then that's that. Right. Then what am I doing? Check that it loops all right. Okay, yeah, so that is good. That's what I want it to sound like. Right now, bear with me just a second. I'm going to do some quick behind the scenes stuff. Okay, so I've got this drum beat, And I know what the riff's going to be on the top. That bum ba da dum dun 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 dun. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and write like a riff that's going to work on. I'm not going to worry too much about. Actually, no. Do you know what? I'm going to take that back. I'm going to get that lead part down because that's definitely going to be in there. I know I know what that's going to sound like. Don't know what the riff's going to sound like, and the lead thing when it's in there that might kind of make me decide what I want to do with it. So this is where it could get frustrating, and you're going to see me sort of dick about and make mistakes and stop recording and start recording again. So I apologise if this bit gets a bit dull because it's just going to be me faffing about with guitars. Right, I'm going to quickly listen to that melody and make sure I get it right because the last thing I want to do is think, yeah, I know how that goes, record it, and then it all sounds dodgy. So. That was right. This is annoying. I'm playing the extended version, so it's like half an hour long. Hang on a second. Any better? Yeah. Slower. Okay. Okay, so. Cool. So the whole thing. Yeah, I think that's right. Cool. So with that drum beat in the background, I'm going to record this bass, this lead line. I know a lot of people when they're playing leads, they tend to I think instinctively use the neck pickup. You get that slightly more mellowy sound, but I've always kind of liked. I know it's just everyone's got a preference, I suppose. But I think I've always liked the bridge pickup with lead stuff. You get a bit more of a bite, I think. It's a little bit too nice sounding that I want it to be like a kind of a bit more of a vicious sound. Cool. So that's what I want it to sound like. So that's what it's going to sound like. Right then. So don't want to record the drums. Drums are good. Cool. I'm just going to give this a go and see what happens. That was a bit naff. I'm going to give it another go. I'm going to keep it rolling so you won't start and stopping again. Cool. I think I'm happy with that last one. Yeah, that's all good by me. And I don't really care about copying and pasting. I copy and paste stuff all the time, and if it saves me time and it means I can smash out a cover in an evening, then fine. I'm not playing stuff live. I don't need to play that stuff live. I get when people don't want to do that, then fine. But screw it, whatever. So that's what I want. I'm going to chuck that in right at the start. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do is just drag that first bit out. Have I got the right recording levels here? Yeah, gain levels are okay. Right, so yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this first bit out a little bit, zoom right in, and make sure it's faded in, just so you don't get like an abrupt start. And this just means that if there's any kind of like a little scrape before it comes in, then it gets caught, and I think it gives it just a little bit more life. If it just starts on the beat like that, I think it can sometimes flop. Whereas I want a bit more of like a natural, because the note doesn't start exactly on the one; it starts just before as the pick scrapes across the string. So, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna not get too worried about how close that is, but there's a tiny little bit of like scratch before the note comes in, and that's fine. That gives it a little bit more energy. What I will do though is cut it there. So if I want to loop it, it'll loop, and it won't have that extra little bit of crap in there, because now it's kind of annoying that that's crossfaded like that. But oh, there you go. That's kind of fixed it. So that should really, I mean, it's kind of like bad practice to not crossfade stuff properly, but you know, whatever. It's not, you're not going to tell. Yeah, I think that's fine. When it's in the mix, it's going to be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, so that melody repeats round, and then there's some other stuff going on, and then I think at this point is where it goes into the do 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 boom. It's not the easiest. Yeah, that'll do. I'm going to give that another listen again just to make sure I'm doing it right. It's kind of handy that this is slower. I can figure stuff out. Is that right? I think I'm getting that wrong. Okay, that's a little bit more involved than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so this might take a few runs, but you know, I got the space to do it, so that's cool. So I'm gonna just give myself a bit of space here, just so it's, I don't know, it's probably fine, but whatever. It's nice to kind of like organizationally keep stuff separate. And then if I need to go and fix it and tidy it up, I can do that, and then chuck it back in there. It should be fine. So I'm just gonna get this rolling and then just start playing and see how many times I cock it up. That was a good start. Bollocks. Bollocks. Okay, so first bit I've got down. I'm going to be a cheapskate, and I'm just going to save that bit. This is when you realise that, you know, those videos I record aren't quite so quite as impressive as they seem. They are a lot of cut and pasting. So that bit I think is crap. Yeah, that's crap. Okay. So I just need to get that last bit. Okay. time because that was, I don't know, that could have been a bit. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Had to come in a bit early. Oh, bollocks, I'll do it again. Hi, Charlotte. Okay, that's fine. That's shit. That's kind of good enough. And again, good enough isn't really the best way to think about this. So the reason that's kind of going to be all right is because I started that bit off when I got to here before I recorded this. And I got that little, you can just see it there, that tiny little scrape. So that kind of is like the head of this, and this is the tail of it there, and it should kind of not sound too dodgy if I play them back to back. Yeah, so that kind of goes in kind of nicely. And again, I've faded off here, and then it's kind of like, you know, which means that when I restart it, it should be all right. So let's just give it a go. I'm gonna put the drum. Okay, that sounded naff when that looped. I didn't like that at all. There's a really horrible gap. That's not good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of... what am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to get rid of those bits. So this is the original riff in its entirety. I'm going to... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that bit off. And I'm literally going to go... Duh, and then go to play that next note. Hang on a sec. And that's gonna bridge that gap. Just trust me, it'll be fine. Okay, so that's all I need there. So if I get rid of that, chop that round there, I reckon this should work. Just like that, it sounds a lot better. So yeah, lots of cheating and cutting corners, and you know, that's how I roll. Sounds alright by the time I finish, so you know, whatever. So I think that's kind of it for the melody. Oh no, there's that other bit, I think, isn't there? Okay, so it goes back to the start again. So we're about here. And then it cuts. Okay. Stop. Okay, so that's a good time to get those. They're just long held single notes, and you can give it a bit of vibrato and make them sing a little bit. So I think that's what I'm going to try and go for there. Yeah, I'm just going to jump in with that and see what happens. Okay, that's cool. So, again, what I might do here is actually get these next to each other. Now, this might sound a little bit abrupt, like it's just going to go burp and not that. That's not too bad. Either way, what I might do is actually, this bit here at the end of the last bit isn't important. What am I doing? But this build up kind of is. So, okay, you can see there where it kind of really kicks in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get those bits to sort of meet there. It's a tiny, tiny little thing that you'd never really notice. But I think if the whole thing was covered with those bits where it doesn't quite match up, it kind of sounds a bit dodgy. So, yeah, and that's a really good bit for harmonies as well. Just a big, fat kind of like, you could do quite an epic sort of minor chord with 3 parts there. So I think I'm going to do that. Screw it, I'm going to do it now, see what happens. So, yeah, I think the other part is just kind of sits on the root. So let's just try that and see what cool. And then I'm going to okay, the part I'm about to play, I don't think is in the original. I think this is just me. I kind of do this every now and then. I think, the original is cool and obviously it's great, but I just throw my own little bit in there. And I think this is going to sound quite cool. So I'm going to chuck a minor third in there to spice things up a bit. Okay, that sounds a bit ridiculous, so there's a very good chance I won't end up keeping that. But, that's quite a joke. Kind of like some Brian May power metal stuff going on there. So I'm going to keep that. I might... Yeah, I'll keep it there for now. I may just take it out. It depends what the rest of it sounds like when I start throwing in riffs underneath and stuff. Okay, so... what am I doing now? Losing the plot. Right, so... Okay, what I could do, and what I should do, and what I will end up doing is going back over the stuff I've done so far and maybe throwing in harmonies and maybe play the same melody an octave lower, that kind of thing, and build that up. But I think I'm going to take a break and go and do some guitars, some rhythm guitars, and get some riffs down, because that's going to be the real kind of this stuff is relatively simple because I know what I'm doing. I'm literally copying another song, whereas this stuff is a little bit more me actually writing riffs. So I think I know roughly what I want to do with it. But again, I don't. I mean, I know what the overall sound is going to be, but what I'm actually going to play is a different thing. So what I do here is I record the rhythm guitars. Generally, I double track. So I'll record one part all the way through, and then literally copy that. Play it again and play exactly the same thing, and then, as you can see here, pan them left and right. It's just a really simple way of making metal guitars sound fat, and I think any kind of any metal albums these days would at least double track stuff. You get the odd random kind of weird ones where they don't, but that's what I've always done. And I think stuff like quad tracking and doing anything a bit more than that, I mean, yeah, I'm sure it sounds great, but this works for me. I think it sounds fine. So yeah, what I'll do is I'm going to record both channels at once, just so it's a nice fat central sound. If I do one at a time, it comes out of one side, and that's really off-putting. So I'll record both, delete one of them, and then record over the one that I delete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that stuff out of the way, and I'm going to get the main melody, and I'm going to play it over and over and over again. And I'm just going to I guess just improvise some riffs. So I actually did this as a metal cover ages ago. So it's already sort of in my head of what I want to do with it. But I don't just want to copy that. that was kind of like, I can't remember what the riff I played underneath. It was like, just like it's like a Megadeth riff basically into that. But yeah, so I think I'm probably going to stick with that. But I want to do something a bit more like interesting with it. Maybe just kind of move around with some single note stuff, or all that sort of like mucking around stuff. I have a 7-string now, which I didn't have before. So I should probably do something with that 7th string. Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna just kind of improvise for a bit and see what happens. Turn that lead guitar down. This is loud. Where's my mixer gone? So I got to be careful because I got these levels are like spot on, and it took a long time to get it right. So this is the one I'm turning down. What's that currently on? Minus 11.4. Should probably write it down. I remember it. Minus 7.4. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this down. Riff can come through a little bit more. Cool. Okay, I can hear what I'm doing now. Right. Let's see what happens. Yeah. I don't know what this is going to sound like. Could be good, could be crap. Probably crap, and then good. But yeah, see what happens. So I ended up doing some stuff on like a single note sort of. Which I think is kind of cool. It might be a bit busy. I don't know. Let's listen to that last bit. I was moving around chords a lot there and maybe a bit too much, so I'm going to keep that a bit more chill. I don't know. Oh shit! I think it's a bit busy. So maybe I should just chill it out a little bit and stick with some power chords. Either way, I am going to wipe that stuff I just did because there's plenty more where that came from, and I'm just going to give it another go. Apologies if this is repetitive and me going around the same thing over and over again. Hopefully, some nuggets of good will come out of the general crap that I'm mucking around with. Okay, I really like that single note E stuff I was doing there. That. I think that worked quite well. I think what I like about that is that cut through, that E just really cuts through, and it doesn't, you don't, sort of like come on, use your words. I think with lots of distorted chords, it gets a little bit kind of like I don't know, mushy. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it works. I think with a melody that's kind of busy, single notes work quite well, and simplicity as well. Like, the rhythm's kind of interesting, but keep the single notes in there, and I don't know, it just kind of works. Anyway, I'm talking bollocks. Let's listen to it, see what it sounds like. And I really like that little. How the hell did I do that? Yeah, I think that's the riff. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Oops. Again, it might change at some point, but I think I might aim at that C as well. You get that nice C major chord going on there. Or maybe. Yeah, I think the C. The C works. I might change it up for another repetition. Yeah, so I'm going to go with that. I need to get rid of both of those. I'm going to go from the start, and I'm not going to have so much of a massive intro this time. Bollocks. Nearly messed up that last bit. I'm going to do it properly this time. Bollocks. Should have just kept that first one I did, considering that was fine and these are all sloppy. Okay, I'm going to go around a few times and just see if I can not lock this riff down. No. Okay, cool. So in the middle of that, I kind of had that whole palm mute thing going on, which could work quite well, I think. That might even work well for like a chord thing. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to give it another go. I think I've nearly got it. Ugh. That's much easier. The plot a little bit there at the end. Okay, cool. So that much of it is fine. Again, you know, if all else fails, copy and paste. I tend to do that a lot as well. You'll notice that if you watch any of my videos, there's usually about 10 of those per track. You know, why not? It's like it works with that drum fill, so why not? Cool. So let's just get rid of that faff at the start. And yeah, cool. So I've got that main riff. I just need that. So I'm just gonna again separate it out a little bit, play, and see what happens. And I'm also going to mute this because I don't need it. Okay, so I got a couple in there because I'm going to be double tracking everything, which means I'm going to record everything twice. And if I'm struggling to play one little riff and I get it, and then I get it again, that's the work done. So I did get at least 2 decent ones in there. Okay, I think those last 2 are actually fine. Yeah, cool. So I'm going to get rid of that. That. Excuse me, and that, and that. And I'm left with 1 good riff. 1 channel. I think that's good. That should be alright when it's in there. And then take the good one from the other channel. Well, it doesn't matter actually because it was all 1 take, but whatever. It's an easier way to visualize it. And then together. So you can hear straight away, as soon as you have 2 different takes cut left and right, it suddenly sounds massive. And that's that massive guitar sound that I'm looking for. So, okay, that's in there. I need to re-record this part. So, right, so the second part, sorry, first part, left channel, I need to do. So I'm going to give myself a bit of an intro. May as well play along with the first track. So if I do play anything slightly differently, then I'll know. Yeah, let's see what this sounds like. Sweet. That was uncharacteristically precise of me. Oh shit, what have I done? Whoops. What did I... Cool. So there we go. That's that main riff done. Tidy up the first bit so there's no crap at the start. Oh, do you know what else I should probably do? Is save this. Because I've not saved it yet. That's a pretty rookie mistake. I've been doing this for an hour and I haven't saved. What am I playing at? So give me a second. I'm going to make a folder. Do this properly. Put it all in the right place. What are we doing? Deku Palace. Anyone who's just tuned in, you are watching me do some admin right now. Okay, we can chill. It's saved. We're fine. Okay. So there's the first part of the riff done. Second part of the riff done. So what I'm gonna do is chop those bits out, loop it there. I may not end up keeping it there, but I'm just gonna check that it loops all right and see what it sounds like. Cool. So that sounds like how I want it to sound like. Except I think when that comes back, I quite like the fact that it loops. When it comes back, I don't want to have the same riff because it just starts to sound like I've copied and pasted. If I can copy and paste and no one knows, then great. If I copy and paste and people can tell, then it's not good. So I might change that riff up a little bit as well. Something random. Chuck in a little curveball. And maybe jump up to the high C instead of the low C. So bump, bump, bump. And then a different riff, like a different little fill riff in there. Yeah, let's give that a go. That sounded alright, I think. Maybe something like that. That was that's one of those times where something sounds shit. What am I doing? Something sounds good in your head, and then you record it and realize that it sounds like ass. So I'm gonna undo all of that because that was all bollocks. Yeah, maybe that could work. Yeah, it's all a bit like bluesy and improvisy and a bit meh. So help if I play in time. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna just keep going. Let's see what that sounds like with the with the melody underneath. I think that's all good apart from that. Might emphasize that bum bum bum. I think I'm doing that classic thing of like forgetting what I'm doing. Boom, boom, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, dum, dum. Cool. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so... Oh, okay, now I'm going to double track before I forget. Why has that got a gap? Oh, yeah, because I was going to record another riff to go in there, wasn't I? Dum, da, dum, dum, da, da, da. What was the one before it? So if I've gone da 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 down, maybe something going a bit lower. It's a bit fiddly. That's quite cool. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That works. I'm just gonna try sticking that in somewhere around here. If I get a good one, I'll play it twice and then chuck it in. Two cheeky successful riffs. Oh shit, that's definitely not what I wanted to press. Yeah. Like it. Okay, so those are the two bits I want to keep on one channel and the other, and together that sounds pretty fat. So see what that sounds like going from one riff to the next. That, yeah, no, I like that riff a lot. It sounded weird when it got to this point, because it suddenly went to one guitar track. I'm having second thoughts about that riff. No, I think it's alright. I think I just played it badly. Okay. I'm going to try and not play it badly. Okay. Da 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 da. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba da ba da ba ba. I think that was all good. Let's just chuck it into where it needs to be. Cool, and then I'm going to want that to repeat. riff before it goes to the next section. So we get rid of that. So that's the whole riff on one track. I'm going to double track that now and probably mess it up. What did I say? What did I say? Oh, shit. Cool. Yep, that's fine. Copy and paste it like a cheeky bastard. And there we go. Right, okay, so I'm going to save it. So, yeah, that's kind of like, the way I see it is like a third of the work is done. Well, not quite. So, I've got the melody recorded here. In fact, yeah, now I can get rid of this shit and put this back here. So, I've got the whole melody recorded here. I've got this stupid bit of harmony stuff that I might not keep, but I might, you never know. If it sounds cool with a riff, then fine. If not, then chuck it. So now I need a riff to go under the next section. Which I don't think I'm going to want to be too complicated because it's... something like that, I think. Doesn't need to be anything more fancy that, you know. Maybe again when it comes around again, maybe, but I don't know. So. Nah, it's verging on pop punk. I don't want that. Ah, that's okay. So that's kind of cool. I quite like that. So if the basic chords here are G. No, they're not. They're D, G, D, G. If I were to go, which is D, G, D, and then instead of going up to just a normal G, I did, which is B and which is the major third, and the root of G major, and then you can climb back up to D. That could sound quite cool. It might sound a bit odd, but it's one of those things where, I don't know, I do this all the time. I wouldn't have thought to do that, and then you muck around and try it and see what it sounds like, and it sounds quite cool. So I'm going to give that a go. I'm going to keep the melody on because, again, I think it will tell me whether I'm playing the right thing or not. Whereas before I knew I just wanted like a fatty riff, and that I knew if I just wrote a decent riff that the thing would work on top of it. This one's a little bit more, I think, dependent on what's going on the melody. So yeah, I'm just going to let this run and see what happens. I'm just going to kind of make it up as I go along. Yeah, so that I like that going down thing. Gives it a lot of depth, but that was kind of sloppy and the ending was crap. So I'm going to redo it, but I'm just going to listen back and see what I liked and what I didn't like. Not sure about the rhythm. That I like the down, down, and then maybe just bum bum bam to hit the melody. And then I think because that is such a beefy, I might just go for a down, bow, bow, down. So, yeah, let's see what that sounds like. I'll just try that again with that in my mind. It's going so well. It's also nice. just going to try and double track that straight away and see what happens. And remember to turn the volume off my guitar. Oh shit, I'm accidentally recording over my previous work. I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm going to redo the original one because I've just heard something that I don't like. Too many cables. I'm going to do it again because, again, that was just a bit sloppy. Something fell over on my desk. I don't know what it was. But we're still recording, so nothing too bad. Cool. Let's try that one more time. Oh, the shit. Okay, I think now I know what the riff is. I'm going to mute the lead guitar because I think it's just put me off a little bit. Yeah, much better without the distractions. Oops. Oh, it doesn't matter. Anything. Shut up. Okay. Okay, I think that's all good. I'm going to try double tracking that and see what it sounds like. Shit, that was going so well, and I just played just the wrong chord. I'm going to give that another go. There you go, that's the second. Okay. I like that. I think that sounds good. Okay. Right, so now I just need a little... Okay, so there's a small section here of that riff where it does something before it goes into this ridiculous... I think that's going to sound good when I stick a stupid riff underneath it. I think that'll sound jokes. So what I'm going to do, I think, rather than just doing that same kind of... I don't want to just return to that because as kind of grooving and as cool as that is, it's kind of basic. It's just one single note. So I want to do something a bit more complicated here, I think. And I think what I'm going to try is doing something that sort of moves up a little bit. So something ridiculous like that. Like that sounds totally random, like it doesn't work, it doesn't fit, and it kind of doesn't. But I think that might that's what makes it cool. Like my favorite thing ever is when I think this isn't going to work and I try it and it does, because it's something that I never would have planned, I never would have designed to do, but you sort of throw it together and it just kind of happens. And yeah. Anyway, I'm saying this like this is going to work. It probably won't, but let's just see what happens. So I'm just going to make up some random kind of chordy thing. Here we go. Yeah, so actually I really like that. I think that works. It's weird, it's different, it's nothing like... That's not in the original at all, but I think that's kind of what makes it work. So. It's just different, and it's just like you throw, throwing curveballs is always good fun. Cool, so I'm going to double track that. I think I could literally just play the same riff again and it should work, so let's see what happens. Yeah, cool. Weird, but cool. And then there's just this bit. And I think, like, having the drums do something a bit more, I don't know, like a bit more kind of like brutal and heavy here could be good. I don't know, brutal is probably the wrong word. In fact, maybe the drums change here as well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get rid of that and get rid of that so I don't accidentally tape over it. God, what year is it? Give myself a bit of space, and I'm going to try... Oh, fuck it, I'm going to get rid of that bit as well. I'm going to try and do something here, which is a bit different drum-wise, and here, which is a bit different drum-wise, and I'm just going to see what happens. This could just be pointless, and I might just end up reverting what I'm doing. Okay. So this is all just playing in on a keyboard. Let's see what happens. So this climbing down, but it's like a mounting tension thing. So I'm going to try and go for like an on-beat snare. Except with a few less tom drums. And then here, I'm thinking maybe kind of like a... Something like that. Something to vary it up a bit and just sort of... So yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, that was kind of all right, I guess. That last bit was kind of... Yeah, I think that's what I want to do with that. So it's, again, just a case of going in and just quickly tidying stuff up. As you can see, everything is just a little bit left of where it should be. So shift it over. Quantize it to straight 16th notes. I can already see that this is crap. Book it to that. No. Get it to get is what it should be. Checking a hi-hat. Turn the velocity down a bit. See what that sounds like. Book it to that. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That was meant to be one of those. Oops. And again there, might be a bit overkill, but you know what? Screw it. If it sounds good, use it. That is well out of time. Okay, it's not right. So half of the work here is just figuring out what the hell I was doing in the first place, because that's gone miles out. Boom, skudum bat, maybe. Boom, ba-dum, ba-gat. That doesn't sound right. Maybe, I think maybe that. Yeah. Again, little cheeky triple thing. So all I'm doing here is putting it roughly like in the right place. So if I played that, it's kind of close enough. But if it's roughly in the right place and I do a bit of quantizing, then it puts it in exactly the right place, which I don't think it even changed then. Nice bit of flam on the snare. And do you know what? That first bit for now, I'm just going to copy and paste. I probably will go back in at some point and give it a bit of variation, but for now, this is all still sort of placeholdery. So I'm just gonna copy it over for now and see what happens. That doesn't look like it copied over properly. No, it didn't. It all went a bit tits up. So, oh god, what am I doing? I'm gonna undo that. Sometimes Snap, I think, just decides that it doesn't want to actually snap. I mean, it's more than likely user error, but it's nice to blame things. And again, just cheeky little kick drum here. It's the same thing, it's repeated. The reason that sounds a bit weird is because I turned that lead guitar down a bit. I might turn that back up actually. Minus 11 point. What was it? I might have to go back and watch the stream afterwards and remember what I got it to. I think it was minus 11.5, 11.4. I don't know. If anyone was watching back then and can remember, then please tell me, but I'm pretty sure. Minus 11.5. Screw it. Close enough. Right, so that's the drums and stuff done. And so, right, so these are all these drums here are literally just placeholder. I'm going to go back in and fix them up properly. This is just one of those times where I sort of like was somewhere and thought, oh, I can hear something that I want to put here, and I can hear something that I want to go there. So I'm just going to do it before I forget. So when I come back to this, I'll know not to just delete this, and well, hopefully I won't accidentally delete it. I have been known to accidentally delete things before. So I just need a guitar riff in there, and then that's kind of rhythm guitar's done. And then it's a case of just thickening out these lead guitar bits and adding a bass line, and then it's basically there. After that, it's just kind of polish, and I might do that like at another time. But the meat of it is here now. So I want something super like simple for this bit in the guitars. Just big fat E power chords. I mean, you know, if there's something I can stick in there that makes it sound a bit more interesting, then cool. If not, then yeah, maybe not. All right, that sounds sick. That's exactly what I wanted to sound like. That just sounds like evil and like end of the world. Just, I love that stuff. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try and see if I can put a line under that now and see if it works. Maybe just a proper C chord under there would work. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And again. There's that third wow bop at the end there. So yeah, I ended on a C here, ending on an E. I think that is what the chord is. That's exactly what I want it to sound like. So I just think I just got lucky there. I threw in a little jugga jump. So I just need to make sure I remember to do that when I double track it, which I'm going to do right now. And again, I can mute the lead guitars because like I know the riff now. I know what I'm doing. Oh shit! Don't hit the mic out of your face. That was dumb. Okay. Let's double track that. Oh, didn't do the fucking bam. All right, that's a simple riff. I need to be able to do that one. I can't be copying and pasting here. That's shameful. Copy and pasting on a riff that simple is just not good. Oh, I've just read on Facebook. Aaron, thank you. It was minus 11.4. You legend. You've saved me. I got it 0.1 of a decibel out. That was the when the hell am I? Minus 11.5, minus 11.4. Oh crap! What? No, I don't want to do that. What? Minus 11.4. There we go. Savior, thank you very much. I would never have got that. I would never have remembered to go back and fix that. So thank you, dude. Okay. Yeah, double tracking without cocking it up. Okay, here we go. Ah, shit! I said without cocking it up, man. Come on. Cool. There we go. So that, I think, is basically the rhythm guitar's done. So yeah, that's gone quite away from the start. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I've gone with like a kind of a sort of straightforward single note riff at the start, kind of Megadethy sort of thing going on, to a bit more of a simple sort of. Oh shit! Yeah, I deleted the drums there, didn't I? Oops. And you know, I got a decent amount of range out of that. Everything from to, I think having that moving up and down, it kind of works quite well. And then this sort of random little bit here. Yeah, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. So what I'm going to do basically is like this is just what I do. This is all now, you know, I know what I'm doing now. I can get rid of all these drums, and I'm going to chuck everything over again, because that's kind of what I do. I tend to just do this stuff where I've done it, and then I'll loop it all again, and then maybe start to loop it for the third time, and then fade it out. But for now, I know that roughly this is where it's going to go. So at some point, I might come back to this and go, well, actually, if I, you know, second time round decide that this riff could do with a little bit of, you know, bit of variation, I might change it the second time round. Again, that's kind of like polish, like later on sort of stuff. But for now, like, you know, basic structure, I've pretty much got it, I think. So now is a case of go back to the lead parts. So I'm going to save it, because you should always save. Yeah, simple thing to start off with is basically just take that lead melody line that I played to begin with and play it one octave lower. It's that classic. It's like an Iron Maiden sort of sound where you just thicken everything up. I think a lot of I noticed bands like Machine Head started using that quite a lot, and it's I think it can be overkill. I use it quite a lot, so maybe it's overkill from me, but it works. It makes the melody, stand out. And I think with video game tunes, a lot of the time the melody is the most important bit. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, excuse me. So it's all going to be centered around that. And I'm also going to mute the rhythm guitars because, again, I don't need them. They're going to put me off, and they'll probably mean that I'll end up playing out of time. Nobody wants out of time guitars. So yeah, I'm gonna run. I need to. I'm gonna mess the melody up. I know I am, but I'll just give it a go. See what happens. Yeah, I was nearly there. Better than I thought it was going to go, but not quite. Cool. Nice. Maybe it's because I'm recording and streaming, but that one's smoother than it normally would, I think. So again, just copy and paste. It's the same riff. Keeping... Actually, this is what I should have done originally. Get rid of this. Drag these out. What? Not gonna let me do that? You bastard! Why not? Okay, never mind. I can fix that. It's probably not the best way to do it, is it? I mean, I guess. That's better than nothing. I'm just showing off. I never do this normally. I've just got people watching, and I want them to think that I'm competent. Yep, nice. That sounds like I want it to sound. Okay, next. Oh. Okay, that repeats twice. That was less than average effort. So close. So close. I didn't think I was going to make it for a second time, but that's fine because of our friend. Copy and paste. Shit. You got that mouth. So anytime I do this copy and paste stuff, it's a quick check to see that that bit where it cuts over doesn't stand out too badly, and usually it's fine. Every now and then, like before, it's dodgy and you get that weird kind of cut out thing, but let's see what happens. Yep, that's all good. That's weird. Just that's me playing preemptively and badly. It works here. It sounds like it kind of goes into it, but I could probably get away with it. I mean, they usually would, but let's do it properly. Let's just cut that out. That's way overkill. No, what am I doing? So what I'll do is I'll just start recording from there on this bit, and then if I need to, drag it back so there isn't this gap of silence, because that's true silence in there, and that might be a problem, but it should be okay. Okay, what am I doing? I'm being lazy bastard and copying and pasting that. So let's see what that sounds like. In fact, I can do it right now. Ooh, that was close. That was out of time. That snapped to the end of that region here, not here. That could have been bad. So at this point, now I'm going to move this back. Maybe just... No, I don't want that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't need to spend any more time. I mean, I should, but screw it. Cool, and that last bit's done. I did that before, so that's that part done. Copy and paste. Cool. So now is the slightly trickier part, and it can sometimes be a pain, especially when the melody harmony's in there. But it's coming up with a harmony part. But I think this one might have one in the original, maybe. No, it actually doesn't. Okay, right. So, excuse me. This is where I've got to be a bit more creative, I think. So. Something like that. If in doubt, stick it a third underneath the main melody at the top, and it usually works. So yeah, I'm going to try that. It's just going to take a little bit of working out what I need to do. That might work. Is that right? So okay, I think that's going to work. One way to find out. Yeah, I think that works. I mean, I think that works. The alternative is playing higher than the main melody. I think that might be, I don't know, a little bit overpowering if you start to sort of hijack that melody and the actual main melody gets lost. If the harmony is sticking out more than the melody. I mean, sometimes I kind of like that because it's like you get a different spin on things, but I don't know. I think for the most part, it's best to sort of keep the melody. Melody is key. Right, so we're nearly done, I think. So I just need to get this down, and then I think we're heading towards the home stretch. So I just need to play that a little less crap. Yeah, let's give it a go. Nope, that was shit. Okay, again, I know what I'm playing here, so I'm going to mute the other bits. They're pretty intense. Oh, bollocks, so close. Oh, man. What am I doing? Oh, okay, I've lost the plot a bit here. Life Man, you're so nice. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing I've heard all day. Thank you. Oh, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Come on, let's focus. What am I doing? Boom, ba-ba-dum. Okay, alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Oh man, that was that was the shittest counting I've ever done. Let's try again. Okay, I think I got it. Did I just cut? Oh shit! I think I just cut every. No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, fine, cool, done, sweet. Copy and paste. Bring this out a bit. Okay, it wasn't letting me do that before. I have no idea why, but that's exactly what I want to do. So once I've copied and pasted it over, excuse me, you want that little bit of attack. Again, it's really subtle and you can barely hear it, but without it, it sounds a little bit jarring. Okay, I'm going to put the rhythm guitars back in and I'm just going to sort of see what that sounds like, make sure it's all good. If I doubled up on that first section, I feel like... Hang on a sec. Yeah, I have. I've got a whole section in there that I don't need. I've literally just repeated this there, and I don't think I need to do it. It doesn't add anything. I don't think there's any difference between this and this. Oh wait, there is. Oh, bollocks. Okay. So I've recorded too much riff here, and hang on, let me listen. Yeah, okay, so I've got a whole bunch of riff that I don't need, which is kind of annoying. I mean, I shouldn't throw it away because if I want to, change things up on the second time around. But basically, I need to get rid of all of this. But that kind of sucks because I mean that bomb. So really, okay. So really, I could just get rid of this. Oh. So that bomb comes back in there. So get rid of that. So because this, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of improvising a bit here. Okay, so I'm not. I was never like totally obsessed with this riff to begin with, so I'm fine losing it. But I think having that bomb is quite cool there. But also, I really love this bit. Let's get rid of this for a second. Do you know what? I'm gonna get rid of this. Bum. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna chuck it over here. So I've still got it later. It's way out of the way. And if I want to use it again, I've got it. But for now, I think I prefer this bit to go here. Oh shit! No, whoa. So dub jump. Doesn't look right. That doesn't look right because it isn't right. Hang on. What would it do? Jump down. That's what I need. Okay. So now I can get rid of this. So that was, I don't know how I ended up doing that. That was just me being dumb. So I shortened the track a little bit. Okay, that was. And then that's the start again. So get rid of all of that. Copy it back over. Okay, so the riffs are done, the harmonies are done, the harmonies are nearly done, but I'm actually going to call it there. I'm gonna leave it. It's kind of getting on a bit. It is a school night after all. So yeah, that's kind of me spending 2 hours on a track from start to finish. That's how I start. Do some drums, do some guitars. The bass is always a little bit of an afterthought with this stuff. It usually just covers up the guitars. So I'm going to do them another time. I may do them on a stream, but I probably won't. I think I'll probably just finish this one off. And I also probably won't release it this week, but you never know. I might do while it's fresh in my head. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you found this interesting and not boring and frustrating. Yeah, I'll be streaming, I think, every Sunday night. New videos come out every Thursday. If you guys have any suggestions on what you want me to cover in this sort of stuff, then by all means leave a comment. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Stop again, and I shall see you soon.